There it is.
It's just, we gotta fix that. I really do.
It should end at a
We totally have
end
to
of the thing.
fix that. Oh, hi.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Live from Rabs from inside Rabs Constraints. Sorry for the late start. I don't know what was happening here, but something was happening, and
I think we were zooming today.
Zoom. Yeah, the Zoom thing. I'm total. You guys, for our regular viewers, have heard me. I am already done with the Zooming.
It's, you know what, it really is funny about the Zooming. People's personalities. Now, I will say on the Zoom call that we just got off of, I had to almost take myself off the screen because Liz was sitting next to me and she kept making me laugh. And it's not making fun of other people. It was just it's just people's personalities. When you see people's personalities like that, no, absolutely
You're making fun
not.
of people.
No,
So who are you making fun of?
Wasn't making fun of anyone.
Yeah, right.
It was the typical Zoom call with who can't work the camera and who's not centered in the picture, and then who, no matter what the topic they brought up, they had to comment on it. It's just people's personalities. I think it's hysterical. I honestly like them. I'm not tired of them yet. And I do believe.
What do you believe?
I believe they're going to become a thing for the future.
Yes, I think there's
a place for them, for some associations to be able to, disseminate information and kind of keep in touch with their members in a way. And I think it'll be interesting going forward. Who holds on to them?
Yes, without a doubt. So at USBC and even at BPAA, we've been doing conference calling and WebEx and video conferencing a lot. We always really have. And I will tell you, it does change the dynamic. Yeah. We talked a little bit about this. I do like, to your point though, I like it on the client side. Forget about conducting business. Here's a business that can continue to communicate with their clients in a different way,
right, in
a group setting. That I think is certainly something we'll see more of. Plenty of opportunities to stay in touch with people.
Yeah.
Versus just the conference calls. Although the conference call, to your point, is the same as the Zoom call, right? So the person who can't connect, who can't. Did you ever see there's the video of the lady making fun of Zoom calls? And she
yes.
Every time she talks, she's they get close to the screen, and then then there's always that one person who talks the way they talk. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. And again, it's like any other meeting. When you're in a room with different people, their personalities will come out.
Oh yeah.
But because of the way a Zoom meeting is set up, there's no distance between. There's physical distance between people, but when they're communicating, like they're right there.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. It's funny. It's just
I don't know what I smell, but something smells delicious.
Something smells delicious. I was going to say that. The exhaust
fan is on right now. It's usually
That's okay. We'll get to enjoy it for a little while.
And there was a funny here. Victor Vittori says he just wants to hear.
Right. If practice is over, you
have 10 minutes of practice. Your practice is now over. Oh, and Pat Reagan, she drove past and almost cried. I'm sorry, Pat. We didn't mean to make you cry.
Well, before you know it, you snap your fingers, and this is all going to be a memory. So, speaking of.
So what do you know, Ness?
I happen to be flipping through the channels because I'm trying to avoid news.
Flipping through the channels.
Okay.
And were you using the clicker or were you using a remote?
No, I was using a remote. Anyway, I noticed that Connecticut is entering. Are they entering phase 2 like us?
They're a little ahead of us because bowling centers, I don't know if bowling centers are in phase 2.
Bowling centers are in phase 2.
Yeah.
I saw
It
this.
varies state by state. Some
I
states
understand
actually,
that.
in some states.
So what would be past a bowling center? Like, what's phase 3?
Here's one for you. Even in phase 2 and 3 here in New York, salons can open in phase 2. However, no waxing, no pedicures, no manicures. So now I can argue that if you're worried about distancing, the manicure, pedicure, you spend, you could actually.
Physical touching people.
Okay. You could put a partition, your hands are this way. If I'm getting a pedicure, my hands are far away from you. You're physically touching. You are putting your hands in follicle. Like you can't, you're so close when getting a haircut. You can't distance.
I don't know.
Why would it be?
I think, Frank,
if I'm going to be around you, some of it just doesn't make sense. I
did hear a story this morning at the first Zoom meeting of the day that there was a party I believe it was in Manhattan, where there were 17 attendees. It was a private party set up in a bar restaurant, and 17 attendees who all were tested positive after the party.
Interesting.
Because one person there was positive and they all got infected. Nobody was wearing a mask, and ended up turning into a total of 50 cases because those 17 people infected other people. So people, wear your mask.
Yeah, please.
Come on. It's the simplest thing. According to
hey,
what several people told me, the number one thing you can do to prevent the spread.
So you know what? Because you're saying that now, I'm going to share the meme of the day. Today's meme of the day. Now you got to sing it, Naz.
No mask on your face, you big disgrace, spreading your germs all over the place.
Sing it,
and then we will what? We will
punch
something you.
We will suplex your ass. Oh, well, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Live from Rabs. Episode 83. I almost said 38.
Yeah, that would have been incorrect.
Episode 83. It's day 93. I'm not sure what the hell is going on anyway. But so today, we've invited some friends to talk about a couple of things.
Yeah.
Several things.
Yeah.
Christine DeHart is with us. She's if you watch Bingo, I call her every week. I call her something.
She's the Bingo queen.
She's the Bingo queen.
Let's keep the bingo at that.
Past president of North Shore Rotary Club, broker of record for Salmon Real Estate, and her role here today, she is one of the chairs of the Staten Island Oktoberfest through her relationship through Rotary, and we've invited Vinny Perno on. He's the president of Rolling Thunder, and we're going to talk a little bit about the event. And we last week they made this big announcement that the event was going to come to fruition. It's something we want people to look forward to. Yeah. This fall, and hopefully all goes well, we'll be able to have this event.
Yeah,
and so
that's what I
wanted them to come on and talk about their respective organizations and the event. Something that's been, this is the 5th year of the event, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So it should be the first large gathering.
It might be one of the first, big events of
after all the crap that's happening around us.
Is Mike Piazza going to hit a home run?
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. But hey, before I bring them in, I want to share. This is their promotional video to kick it off.
Wonderful.
and I can't help but dance when I catch that video.
Yes, that is a.
And if that's not a good representation of that event of the last few years, I don't know what is. And I know that they're looking to duplicate that moving forward. Hi, Christine and Vin.
Hi, guys.
Hey guys, how are you?
Frank, are you confused right now? Is it Wednesday in the afternoon or Friday night? If I'm here with you.
I know. You're live, and we're not,
63.
and we're not playing bingo.
Sorry. Had to add that in there.
You know what? That's perfect, because for those of you that are watching that don't know, the past bunch of Friday nights we've been hosting a bingo game, and Christine enters the studio, and we give away money and prizes.
It's so much fun. I mean, we have a blast.
Laugh with me or laugh at me. At least you're laughing.
Most people are usually laughing at you. Hey, so welcome to the party. You guys dropped a big announcement last week. We talked about it here a little bit, and that's why I invited you to come on the show today, because I wanted you guys to talk about not only the event, but the organizations that make this event what it is. And so, Vinny, I want to start off with you. One,
Okay.
how are you?
I am great. Yourself?
We're doing all right. This is, we're trying to stay sane in quarantine while we're here inside Rabs and making the best of it for sure. Hey, so Vinny, I want you to talk about Rolling Thunder. What's Rolling Thunder, and what's Rolling Thunder's? Just what's Rolling Thunder and what you guys do?
All right. Let's do a What's Rolling Thunder. Let's keep it general, okay? So first of all, thanks for having me on this. I apologize I couldn't get my sound and mic and video to work on my computer, so I'm on my phone. Rolling Thunder. So Rolling Thunder, contrary to popular belief, is not a motorcycle club. We are a veterans support organization. We do everything we can for veterans, to help veterans. Our mission statement is to educate the public on the missing in action POW MIAs that were never found. Over 82,000 of them still out there. It's a phenomenal number if you think about it. Filled the Super Bowl twice at the parking lot, and that's how many people never came home. But we do everything we can to help our local veterans. We've been extremely fortunate to partner with the Rotary Club with this Oktoberfest. We have annual runs. We do what we can. Currently, we are feeding veterans, doing deliveries. If it's a veteran-related issue, we are there. I'm sure you've seen us out and around. I know the motorcycles is a little stigma, but you do not need a motorcycle to join Rolling Thunder. You just need to have a passion for veterans and want to become part of our big crazy family who does wonderful things to wonderful people. That's us in a nutshell.
And you guys do some awesome work. And you know what? You don't have to ride a bike, but I mean, if you ride a bike, that's a bonus.
Yeah, you know what? The bikes help us get noticed. That's pretty much it. The conduit or a vehicle to hey, what's that noise? Hey, look, here's all these guys supporting veterans. How can I get involved with them? So it's a great thing.
That's awesome.
And I've been in it for 27 years now, and I'm fortunate enough to be the president of Chapter 2 for the last 2 years.
Is it a 2-year gig? How long is the gig of presidency?
The presidency is every year. It's a 2-year gig. All our elected positions are 2 years. If anybody wants to throw their name in the hat and you're watching this, feel free. No, it's a great thing. Listen, it's everybody says the president, he does this, that. I'm just a guy up in front and a spokesman for the most incredible bunch of people that you could ever imagine. We're up to almost 160 members now. Men, women, children. We have junior members. We got the Girl Scouts with us. We got all kinds of great people with us, doctors, lawyers, bankers, firemen, cops, transit workers, any walk of life. If you got a passion to help veterans, we're the place for you. But again, it's the membership that does everything. I bring the information to them. They vote on it. I am fortunate enough to represent them, but I'm just the guy in the front. There's a phenomenal bunch of people there.
So Vin, how did you join into this partnership with Rotary of Staten Island?
So it's 5 now, right, Chris? 4 or 5 years. One of our members, Richie Savasta, great guy, was a past board member, very involved in the chapter. His involvement with the Rotary introduced us to Christine and the late and great Bernard Del Rey, and we started off small, Marine Corps League, a couple of years, and then that lovely lady in the top right corner of my screen there, Christine, said, "Hey, let's maybe get bigger and better," and we knocked it out of the park last year. So it allows us to do phenomenal things for these veterans. we can't thank you enough for allowing us to be part of this great event.
Yeah, and so Christine, talk a little bit about how this all started. And usually I have to say, if anybody knows the relationship you and I have, and even Naz and I, you Christine, and you Nazareth are usually the ones that get people in trouble with your ideas. And so my favorite one about this particular event, you kind of got dragged into this as well. While you did have this idea, somebody else kind of said, hey, we should be doing this, and then kind of ran with it. But I want you to talk a little bit about Bernard and how this all started.
So Bernard was a great guy. And what ended up happening was we went to an event at the Marine Corps League, and it was for one of Rolling Thunder's members, put on an event. And I said, oh, Bill Larry from the South Shore Club and I was standing there. I was like, this would be perfect for an Oktoberfest. We should really think about that. Well, Rich heard us. Rich went to Bernard and said, Bernard, we need to make this happen. I got a phone call from Bernard and said, Christine, we're doing this Oktoberfest and you have to help me. So for once, it kind of my idea, but Bernard pushed it right through and really made it successful and made it work.
Yeah, and so that's where the 5 Rotary. So Staten Island has 5 Rotary clubs,
right?
And so it's not easy just to get one club involved in something, but then to get all 5 clubs to rally behind something. I think that says something a bit more for you and Bernard to say, hey, we want to have an event. Oh, by the way, it's not just the Mid-Island Rotary Club and the North Shore Rotary Club. We're calling our friends.
Well, I think that the cause really is what affected everybody. When you hear these guys, what made me really want to support this cause was one of Rolling Thunder's members is Alex Morocco. Now, Alex has a son, Brendan Morocco. He is the first quadriplegic amputee brought home. And Alex's story, honestly, Frank, you should have him on the show. His story is just, you cannot help but be touched and want to do whatever you can for him. But it made you realize that it's a forgotten group. Yes, we all, let's help our veterans. Oh, these guys, the boys, let's bring them all home. But for us going to work every day, it's like you forget what these boys are actually giving up for us. And listen, I come up with crazy ideas every day. Let's do bingo on Facebook, Frank. Now Frank has to give me every Friday night. We do bingo on Facebook. Vin, I want this, that, and the other thing. Just make it happen. I don't care how. I don't care about logistics. Just make it happen. I get to do that because these boys are sacrificing so much for us. And you think that, listen, it's 2020. The government's got to be supporting our guys as they come back, aren't they? They're taking care of them. They're doing everything. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. So I think that when you hear truly what these guys need, it's not, they want a new car. They need help putting a roof over their head. They need help putting food on their table. When you hear that, and to be able to just talk about those stories, it got everybody's heart involved. And that's why I think all 5 clubs came together. I mean, yes, everybody knows that I can be pushy and push people to do what I want a little bit. But really. It's the cause that we just all wanted to get behind. I think that really is what drove everybody.
Yeah, and that's great. And hey, and so Vin, talk a little bit about a little bit more. I want you to elaborate on what she's saying, because I think the awesome part about how we help our veterans is not, nobody's standing in front of a room and telling their story and saying, I need this. This is somebody coming to you saying, hey, we need some, somebody bringing someone's attention to you and saying, hey, these guys are having some trouble putting some food on the table. Talk a little bit about how you guys do what you do, because I think that's so important, and I think that's what drives home the reason why people want to support.
Okay, so like I said before, it's the network of people that I have in my organization that makes this happen. You guys know a lot of the players, Bruno, Bobby Locks, all of these people. Both of those guys are veterans. We have a couple of years back, Rolling Thunder National, who's our mother chapter in New Jersey. There's 90 chapters throughout the country. They started something called Rolling Thunder Charities, okay? It was an avenue for corporate people to make donations to Rolling Thunder. It's tax deductible. It goes into an account in our name, and we're able to use that money to help veterans in need. Now, as far as how do we find these veterans? Again, my awesome people, Bruno, my vetting committee, Carlos is fantastic, Maria Benda, Mikey Beans. I could talk about Mike Solsona forever. Okay, these guys, they're in contact with the VA. They're in contact with the social workers. People reach out to us everywhere. My phenomenal media committee, head by Nicole Chatty, who's also my chairman of the board. People reach out to us, and it could be something as simple as an auto repair or electric bill. Somebody might need a ramp built. Somebody might be really down and out. And I don't want to get too much into other organizations, but you touched on it. Alex Morocco, unbelievable man. I consider myself a much more better person just knowing him and his family and Brendan. I was fortunate enough to help with his house when they were building it. He has a foundation, the Road Home Foundation. You should definitely look into having him on, Frank. But listen, we're easy to find. You find us on Facebook. You find us online. We, like I said, my guys and girls are out there at the VAs, with the social workers, trying to find out who needs what. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to raise some money. And every single penny that we raise goes to veterans. Okay, everything from Rolling Thunder Charities, 100%. Your deduction, your tax deductible donation goes 100% to veterans. There's not a percentage, there's not a penny, nothing. Every single penny from Oktoberfest goes towards helping our veterans.
And I think what the good part about having Rotary partnering with Rolling Thunder, their network is great. They have these guys are proud men. They carried a gun. They ran into danger. Do they want a bunch of people in suits coming and bringing them to a dinner and saying, "Oh, look, we're going to help this poor soldier out"? No, that's not what they need. What they need is for Rolling Thunder to show up. "Hey, brother, we got you." And they give them the check. No fanfare. There is no dinners. There's no, "Oh, we're helping this one." You're never going to see a picture of it. You'll see a picture of the events, giving them their pride and dignity. And we're able to do that by working with Rolling Thunder.
I thought he had something there.
Yeah, he did.
Great. We, like you said, you're not going to see it on Facebook. You're not going to see it on social media. What kind of Hudvash? Most of the times we don't tell anybody their name, but first initial, last name, something. These guys are very proud, and we don't do that. We keep it quiet, keep it close to the vest, and we do everything we can.
Yeah, and they need that because that's a big piece of it too. This pride, right? And I think that's with anybody that's accepting any sort of donation. Pride comes into play.
Dignity. You don't want. They're already in a bad position of need, and feel like their dignity is injured to begin with. To further flaunt them, like Chrissy said. I 100% agree. You allow them to keep their dignity and accept the help, and hopefully maybe be able to be in a position to pay it forward at some point too.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Like I said, these guys it's just about respect, and I could talk about veterans for hours. Christine knows that, but not too long ago, these guys came back from Vietnam, and it wasn't like it is now, where everybody's saying thank you for your service. They were spit on. Couldn't wear their uniforms, called all kinds of horrible names. So every one of my members, and I'll tell you for a fact, if I'm out of the restaurant or I'm at Dunkin' Donuts or somewhere and I see somebody with a hat on that says any kind of veteran-related stuff, I thank them for their service. My kids thank them for their service, and I buy that coffee, I buy that sandwich. I'm fortunate enough to be able to do what I'm doing because of them. So it's a thank you goes a long, long way. You see somebody with military stuff on, you thank them for their service, shake their hand, or if you can shake hands now with this whole stuff going on. But, that thank you goes a really long way. It really does.
Yeah, it certainly does. And we've talked about this before, and it's something that I grew up doing. It's something that was instilled in us, and you can't take things for granted. Hey, so you talk about the money you've raised. Christine, I think it's well over $120,000 in the last 4 years alone that has been raised just through this event.
Correct. We're able to raise that money through corporate sponsorships, which we've had a lot of. Northfield Bank has always been there for us. BCB Bank has been there for us. We've had a tremendous outpouring from a lot of the corporate corporations on Staten Island and the small businesses. As we all know, Staten Island has the best small businesses for giving money. We also are able to get a lot of things donated. These bands come out and play all day. They don't charge us for that. They just come out and play. And it's, so we get that. The vendors come, they're able to sell their stuff. They love the event. We're able to charge them, and we charge a door fee, which we're able to make money on. And other than that, people just enjoy. It's a fun way to spend the day.
So what's your favorite part of that event? What is it that you look forward to?
Well, this year, last year, I should say, moving it to, Vinny knows my answer, moving it to where we were last year, I was able to finally get an official beer hall tent. And that is sponsored by Salmon Real Estate, because that's my beer hall, and they all know it. Nobody will step on that. They all know it's my beer tent. They let me have my way with that. That's my favorite part. The other thing is so last year when we had it, and we had some games out on the lawn, and the bands were playing. When I was a kid, we used to go to Oktoberfest all the time. My father was German, and that's what you did. You went, and yes, they sat at a table and had beer and food, but we all, there was games and rides and things like that. To see the families come and enjoy the day, that means a lot to me, because that's what I did growing up. I used to enjoy going to these things with my father, with all of us, and that's my second favorite is the families. I'm not going to lie. My first favorite is the beer hall. You can't lie.
And so you make a great point, because it's not, people see Oktoberfest and they assume, it's just a beer event,
right?
And it's just an adult event, and it's really not. Your group has done a great job at creating this environment. Yeah, of course you can have beer and you can eat, but there's a whole area for kids. There are plenty of things to do, and the vendors have gotten creative with providing games for people to take part in as well. So, which I think is cool.
Yeah, Linda Aubrey heads up Kids Town, which is inflatable rides, games, prizes. She really does a lot and is very creative with the space that we give her. And the kids get a bracelet, and all day long they can play. And we're not beating anybody up on the cost of it. It's, the kids, we don't charge them to come in. We do charge them for the bracelet, but they get to play all day. It's not where we're going to say every game you're going to pay. There are some pay for games, but you could bring a kid there, they can play all day long without ever paying another penny. So it is for the whole family.
That's great. And so Staten Island certainly needs more of these types of events.
Absolutely.
And so many promoters and many businesses and groups have come forward and have tried. But when it comes to this type of an event, there aren't many. We've got our county fair, which is at historic Richmond Town forever, and they do a great job at running the fair. And at that venue, they run other events. But when it comes to a true Oktoberfest or festival, we are limited. We don't really have as many. There's the Polish festival at Snug Harbor, the Greek festival. But there could be more opportunities
They have
for families to get
Italian
together.
festival.
Yeah.
There's a few, but I mean, on a scale of something like this, I mean, you've seen a lot of growth in the last couple of years too, right?
Yes. So when we started this, we were going to be happy, if we made a couple of bucks and we had, maybe we could have 1,000 people show up. Well, the first year we had over 2,000 people show up, and it just started growing. We were happy if we were going to have 500. We had over 1,000 people, and it just started growing. And last year we had well over 5,000 people crowded in there. This year is going to be even better, because this year, I hate to say it, but what else? We're going to be one of the first events to actually happen. I know you guys were talking about it before. We're going to be one of the first events to actually happen, because nothing's going to happen till September. We're at the end of September. So we actually have that in our favor. And you know what? I wanted something to look forward to. We know I can't not have any kind of fundraising going on. I'd go crazy. But we all want to look forward to something. This is the something to look forward to.
Yeah, and I want the both of you to talk about it. You got a new venue. So we found a new home for this event. that I think is very different, and I think is going to be great. Talk a little bit about the new venue and what that looks like for the event.
Well, we are very excited. We are moving to Pouch Camp. The Boy Scouts have welcomed us with open arms, and when they heard that we might be looking, they reached out and said, "Please come here." And we went. We walked it. Vinny was, we went and walked around, and of course, I got grand ideas, and Vinny will be running to catch up and make sure they happen as he always does. But it's going to be, we have a big open field, and it's going to be, we're going to still have our bandstand, and we're going to have a separate sitting area for eating. We're going to have my beer hall. That's a guaranteed fact. Can't go backwards. But it's going to be a much better event. It's right on Manor Road. We will have plenty of parking, and I think it's going to work out perfectly. Vin, what do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Frank, if you would have asked me what my favorite part of the Oktoberfest was, it would probably be trying to sneak into Christine's beer hall. That's my favorite part, to try and sneak into Christine's beer hall. No, listen, we are super excited about Pouch Camp. We have a little bit of a relationship in the past with the Boy Scouts. They're a phenomenal organization. It's going to be exciting to be in the new place. Layout, everything else is going to be a lot easier for us. We can put more people. Parking's not a problem. I'm particularly looking forward to this little partnership with the Scouts. Okay, they're going to be involved. They're going to have their own stuff there to do and say, maybe promote, get some membership into the Scouts. If I'm at liberty to say, Chris, about afterwards, the flag, they're going to have their flag burning ceremony. That's how they retire worn with distressed flags. They're going to have that ceremony towards the end. So, right in with our our veterans team. We have our Wall of Heroes. We talk about. I'll be doing most of the speaking, right, Chris? I guess. Stage,
yes, but, I don't do the public.
It's super exciting. It's the beginning of a fantastic partnership that we're going to have. And, listen, like she said, people are looking to get out and do things. And what sets us apart from the Polish festival and the Italian festival that you spoke of, first of all, there's technically 6 different organizations working together. And our money goes to veterans. So that's what sets us apart. So, again, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So I want to just touch on one thing because his phone froze up, and it was important that I forgot about. Part of this event is that we do a wall of heroes. So at the day of the event, there is a big wall that we put your loved one. Does not have to be passed. It's in honor of. Does not have to be a memorial. We put their name on a yellow ribbon and put it up on this wall of heroes. We put their picture up on a scrolling TV through the whole thing, and truly honor those veterans that have done so much for us. And that's an important thing. And you don't have to be there to do that. You could do that beforehand. And we will add all that on there.
Yeah. So, and if anybody knows that you could buy a ribbon, or you could, there's a photo opportunity. It's really, it's a great display to say thank you, and certainly remember and recognize those heroes. Hey, so first there's 2 comments for you, Christine. One, Kevin Rourke is making sure that people know that you are the reason he doesn't carry around money in his pocket.
Now, do you think I don't have it on that I did not see that? So now, Kevin, I'm not asking you for $1. You're going to give me $5 next time I see you. Go ahead. What's the second thing?
And I think he thinks he's being funny, but he's not. So Oktoberfest in September.
Kevin, rookie Kevin. So Oktoberfest is always held in September since the beginning of time, because Oktoberfest is to get the beer barrels emptied so that they can start brewing again in October. So they have it at the end of September so that they have a big party, a big festival to drink all the beer left over, so that in October they can make new beer.
And if you didn't know,
now you know. Little things I know. Yes.
and we have held this event in October in the past, and it's just because of dates and how it works out. And Christine has been very pushy, and yes, Christine is pushy.
Thanks, Liz.
To get it moved to September to truly honor and recognize the true meaning of Oktoberfest, and we were finally able to do that. So kudos to you and the team.
Eventually, I get my way, as you both know.
Always gets our way.
Yeah, in some cases. Hey, so Saturday, September 26th is this great event, and I think we're all looking forward to finally having something to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And being a part of something. If there was something you didn't share with everybody about the event and about Rotary or Rolling Thunder, what is there anything else you'd like to make sure you share?
If anybody has any other questions, just go to sioktoberfest.com.
There you go.
See that? I'm good, Frank.
So there's an interest form if you're a vendor of some kind, you sell crafts or goods, you're a food vendor, fill out the form, and Christine and the team will get back to you. And by all means, admission tickets will be available for sale, and we'll have a great time. And we'll guarantee, Vin, you hear this here? Breaking news. We're going to guarantee you're not going to wait long for your beer.
Okay. I don't wait online. I go right to her beer hole. I sneak in when she's not looking. That's where I go.
We all know that doesn't happen often.
We're looking forward to an awesome event. Thank you guys for dropping in.
I do have one.
Okay.
Does Rolling Thunder? Do you have a website or a Facebook page that
Sure, we have both.
Is interested in being a part of your mission that they could check out?
Yes. So we have a website is rollingthunder2newyork.com, and you can find us on Facebook at Rolling Thunder Staten Island or Rolling Thunder Staten Island is our Facebook page. You can reach out to us there. And anybody that's interested, they could certainly reach out to me. I'll give my phone number right on this thing if that's okay with you. 917-509-2231. I would give a regular meeting place and time, but that's not really happening with everything going on. But we usually meet first Tuesdays of the month at the Marine Corps League. If we get back to that, I appreciate the time. And thanks so much for inviting me on this, Frank. And always a pleasure to see you, Christine.
Thank you, Vin.
No, thank you. And like I mentioned,
thanks, Naz. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, the Staten Island has 5 Rotary clubs who meet at all different times, whether it be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And Rotary Clubs of StatenIsland.com, where you can see the list of other Rotary clubs. Hey, you guys rock. We appreciate you guys dropping in
Chrissy.
And talking about Rotary and Rolling Thunder and this amazing event, which I'm looking forward to as well. Yeah. So stay healthy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Nazareth. I will see you Friday, Frank.
Yes, you will. Hey, Christine, don't go anywhere.
Uh-oh. I'm caught.
So, no, here's your opportunity. You said it. We talked about it. Here's your commercial. Friday night. It's bingo night.
It's Friday. If we change it officially, it's Friday. It's bingo night. You never know what will happen. You never know what we'll be doing. There will definitely be more of the wheel, maybe some more plinko, but we'll figure it all out as we get there. So everybody, please sign up, get your card, and let's have fun Friday night.
Yeah, it's fun.
SI NorthshoreRotary.org/bingo.
I was going to say, Frank, you don't have any wine there. Well, at least when I'm on there with you, we have wine.
You don't know what's in our cup.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
See, I tend to use the diffuser to kind of calm my nerves.
Well, I look forward to talking with you, and of course, everybody looks forward to seeing you on bingo night.
Yes, Chrissy.
I will be there.
We'll talk to you later, Christine. Thanks for joining.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Christine and Vinny, thank you guys for again for dropping in and sharing the wonderful news. And I have to say, we were all excited to get that announcement out last week that this partnership between the Rotary clubs and Rolling Thunder has been awesome, and you can see that through passion as well.
It's a great cause, and finally, some lights being shined on the plight of the veterans, which is something that we've talked about it many times before, and the way that our veterans are treated, honestly, is the shame of our nation. That's my personal opinion. And they should be treated like heroes and not have to want for anything. And I mean, they sacrificed, some of them sacrificed lives, sacrificed whatever they gave up to fight for what we have now. There should be, they shouldn't want for anything, but that's all right. I could go on and on. This is good that finally, light's being really, really shed on this. And this great group. I hear wonderful things about Rolling Thunder. I did not know, though, that you didn't have to have a bike, and it's not really a bike club.
No, it's not it's not a motorcycle group.
That's good
like
to know.
Vinny says, it's something that I think they get. It could be perceived as a good or a bad thing, and I think that's something that they
in a way, yeah,
want to
because
be perceived as.
There is and you know what? I think that stigma is passing a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like it was 5 or 10 years ago, and people see a lot of the great work that almost all of these motorcycle groups do. So, but Rolling Thunder in particular is
veteran support organization is how they identify themselves, and
Yes.
they're awesome. And
Yeah.
if you've ever been to the event, you'll see everybody comes and works together for the mission, one, to provide an awesome community gathering through this event, but at the same time also raise money for our veterans. And if Vinny wouldn't be Vinny if he didn't say that over and over and over. It's about our veterans, about our veterans, about our veterans.
Yeah.
We're raising money. And so kudos to Christine and Vinny and the team. They had their second conference call in about a month last night, and they meet weekly up to the event. It's something
it's a big event,
for
and
planning.
there's a lot of moving
moving
pieces there that need to be
especially in a new venue. So a new
tied up.
venue,
Correct.
which they mentioned it's a pouch camp, and it's actually the field, the Camporee field,
Yes.
which is across from the JCC,
which is a great
right before
space.
Wagner High School. This huge parking lot,
It's great space.
2 parking lots, great space. It's gonna be great. So
Yeah.
be sure to mark your calendar and come and be a part of
Yeah.
something that's awesome.
Yeah.
That does some good
That really does good. Really does good.
while having fun. I laugh about the beer thing. That we, you run an event and you get involved, and you just don't realize. Last year with the new venue, and now we've moved on to a different venue. You don't realize how many people might actually come out, and so you plan for X. I don't think we would have ever. We had never anticipated
No.
5,000 plus people to show
No.
up last year,
And you know
which
what?
was amazing.
Almost the perfect storm. You had
Beautiful weather.
perfect weather.
Yeah.
You had an open weekend with people kind of, even at that point last summer, people were kind of starting to stay closer to home.
Mhm.
And it was great. And listen, you had a great cause too. So, and listen, everybody knows the great work that Rotary does, and everybody, hopefully now knows that Rolling Thunder, and you both have nice followings too. So, it was everything came together.
Yeah, I'd never changed so many beer kegs and in my life. We do it all the time here, but
Yeah.
I was bruised and all over the place. It was
Yeah,
fun.
it was
It's fun.
it. Yeah, listen, and you learn from those things.
Oh God, yes.
And you move forward, and it
It's
makes you
cool.
even better.
And so some of the things came up on the call last night, just planning and go, okay, we could do that. And so it's going to be great.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. Hopefully by then they've lifted restrictions and large groups can gather.
Right.
And the group is prepared to
Either way.
either way, to say, hey, we have to do X for distancing issues
Right.
or whatnot. So things are being considered.
Sure.
You just can't put the cart before the horse
Right.
without the unknown. So, hey, I actually had 2 memes of the day.
Okay, so you showed us one,
I showed you one.
which is actually really funny.
That's funny. Here's this.
Are you afraid to show this? I can't see that.
This quarantine sucks. You just bought yourself another 30 days, mister. You want to keep going? I've got all of 2020.
Cool.
It wasn't
He's,
it's not the best Photoshop job of
No.
Promo's face, but
No.
it's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's funny because I watched an interview with him last night. And listen, it was or was it this morning? I can't even remember. Everything just runs into everything. He was pretty forthcoming, and you know, of course, they try to push him to see if he has, you know, any inkling of wanting to run for office, and he's pretty much saying no. You know, he's backing Joe Biden. And
did you see his interview with his brother? I mean, the interview with his brothers. He's got a couple of them with his brother, but one of them specifically, Chris went after him and kept pushing him. Bro, you're going to run for, and he said, absolutely. He was very, he said, no, listen, that doesn't mean today he's in the beginning of all this. He was making him out to be America's governor, and people loved him, whatever your beliefs are. And so it's interesting to see, but he was very adamant and kept saying no. And you know, if he feels that way, good for him. And you know, he can be governor forever. I mean, there's no term limits.
I do think what he's doing properly, just think of it this way. If he said yes, then everything that he's done now gets turned into, well, that's because he was running for president. 100%. Well, everything he does from now on, well, of course, he's running for president. You know, he wants his focus to at least appear now to be taking care of the state. And I will tell you, like him or not like him, he's done a great job with our state. We're not showing an infection rate that's rising, hospitalizations going up. So I think he's doing a great job. I'm not always 100% in agreement with his politics, but I mean, how could you always be in agreement with everybody everything that everybody does? So there it is.
Yeah, no. Anyway, we're in good shape. We want to move forward together. And,
that's it. So did he say?
Got on that because we want to get together in September.
Did they say that they might push back phase 2?
So our mayor keeps saying phase 2 is not happening for another, the beginning of July, he's saying, this is their spat. Their spat. Our mayor keeps saying he wants to push phase 2, but our governor Cuomo has been very consistent. One, that's his decision and his office and his decision to make, not the mayor's. And we're going to do what's best for everybody. But he can't keep pushing it off. So I don't know. As of today, we're still on target for a phase 2 opening this week. He committed to the restaurants, told the restaurants for outdoor dining.
Yes, that I know.
With a date. Now, listen, doesn't mean
big talk about that.
Doesn't mean he won't push it off. We don't know.
Right, we don't know.
But as of today, he has no plans of pushing it off.
Okay, I heard it. I didn't know.
It's the mayor's office that's pushing. And again, we could argue, right? How far do you go to say we need to do it? We don't.
What's the reasoning behind it? I mean, really, come on.
And we're, all over the country, we're seeing different things. So we've talked about this the last couple of days too. But you just don't. Every day is changing. No different than when we started this. We didn't know what tomorrow would bring.
Well, you know what?
We didn't think we'd be here 83 days later either.
I think that partially what is playing into, and this is just my opinion again, what it might be playing into his decision was, the protests and the riots have kind of knocked him off his game a little bit, where he was laser focused on moving forward, and now some of that focus had to be changed, and so now he's looking at a bigger picture and a bigger, different picture. So I'm not saying that I agree with pushing it back. I mean, if the numbers are continuously going down in the city, let's focus on that and let's maybe move forward slowly. And that's what this is.
And we've been moving forward slowly.
We have.
At a snail's pace. At the same time, it's been good. Right? So
I
numbers here
why.
At one point on Staten Island, we had 0 new cases. We did have a little spike in new cases.
Yes, a couple.
But we're not talking anything that's major or so we'll see. And Dennis, yes, we want to bowl also. So we're with you. I just want to bowl, damn it. Right. Just want to bowl. We all do.
We all do.
We all certainly do. We've been sharing some, in the spirit of festivals, we've been sharing some old photos. And so in honor of our 25th anniversary. And here's one. I don't know what year this is. This is from the Richmond County Fair. I know that this is quite some time ago.
Is that Alex?
No, I think this is Vingio. actually.
Oh,
I believe
how
that's who this is.
appropriate as we speak about
Yeah,
the
I believe
veterans.
that's who that is. I'm not
It could be.
100% certain. Miss Cafaro in the background there, but this is we set up a shop at the Richmond County Fair for a few years and did some bowling out on Richmond Road. Some fun times for sure. In the spirit of festivals, we might even do pumpkin bowling at the Oktoberfest.
Oh,
How fun
wow.
would that be?
That would be interesting.
Some bowling with pumpkins, and I think that's what we want to do something
Something a little different.
in the kids area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I look at that. It's going to be a little messy, I think. It would be prepared.
We're outside in the great outdoors and on the
Okay.
lawn.
All right.
And so one of the things that Vinny talked about, so the event starts off with a honor guard and some bang and then
Right.
music, and then it's going to end with a huge bang where the Boy Scouts have committed to bringing back the flag burning ceremony, and that's going to be the ending of the event. So this something that they did for a long time. They didn't do it the last couple of years, and they're going to bring that back as part of this. And it's just a huge symbolism of the day, what we're doing, and that partnership, which will be
very nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, which would be really cool. And duck pins, pumpkins, bowling pins, duck pins. There'll be anything. Naz,
Frank.
it's Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Which means tomorrow is Thursday.
Thursday, and you know what Thursday is?
What is Thursday, Naz?
Thursday is Food Day with Pam Silvestri.
So we'll talk a lot about food tomorrow.
Yeah, well, there's a lot
Thursday.
going on. There's a lot.
There's a lot happening. Yeah, we didn't even have enough time today to talk
Big talks about restaurants opening with outdoor seating. Can I have a tent outside? What happens if it rains? All kinds of discussions going on.
I've seen some great pictures of with tents and new seating at the Marina Cafe specifically. I saw DeLuca's, Angelina has been talking about it.
Yeah.
Eska's, there was a conversation, who knows, but I hope that whoever can do it, and they'll do it. They'll do it great. So we'll talk to Pam about the latest update on the food scene. And who knows, hopefully this upcoming week we'll be getting to dine outdoors. I've seen some great success out of New Jersey of restaurants that have opened this week. My brother said most diners don't have masks, not even entering with masks. They're just coming for dining. Yeah, it's interesting, but at least it's from his observation at the curtains at the theater. Because what are you going to do? On and off. But then there was a photo of the governor's office, and they went out and they're all sitting there at the dinner table with masks on. I mean, you can't eat with them on. So
no, you can't eat with them on. And listen, if you're to that point where you're going to be distanced but you're going to be with your group of people, listen, I guess at some point we're going to have to dip our toe in the water and see what happens.
Without a doubt. So hopefully this week we're looking forward to a little bit closer to some normalcy outdoor dining. But tomorrow we'll talk more about it. And Friday, PBA champion Michael Fagan's on the show with us. So we're going to end the week with a bang. Michael Fagan's awesome. We started off with Coach Wacky from St. John's, and we're going to end Friday with Michael Fagan,
one of his proteges.
Yeah, and then who had some success in the tour.
Yeah,
who retired and is now in the bowling center business with our friend Robbie Spigner, and he's running bowling centers in the Midwest. So we'll talk a little bit about their reopening of bowling centers, his career.
Doing, right?
So stay tuned. Tomorrow, Pam Silvestri, Friday, Michael Fagan, and then we'll have another new week of shows.
Coming
Before
right
you
up.
know it, it'll be episode 100.
Yeah.
Live from Rabs might enter phase 2 itself. We've already entered phase 1 because we take Sundays off. And you just never knew what phase 2 might be.
You never know.
You never know.
We don't know.
We're always up for surprises around here. But maybe phase 2 includes having wine every day on the set.
I'm not opposed to that.
I could bring whatever wine. We don't really drink that much on bingo night, which is kind of funny. You'd think that
because you're busy.
We just don't. I mean, I have a glass. I did fill up this week, but it still wasn't a lot.
Right.
Liz DeHart, if she's still watching, she drinks all the wine and then afterwards says, "Oh, we drank 2 bottles tonight."
Well, you did, although she drank most of it.
Yes,
so.
yes. But she tries to pass
right.
the buck and
well,
tell everybody.
You know the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's documented. we can see how much you guys drink. If there's 2 bottles gone, it's clear there's only one other person that
we
could have
can't see
drank
on
it.
camera.
Correct.
So, hey, continue to like, share,
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
Subscribe.
The love button, the heart. We love hearts. We love thumbs
we do
up.
like the hearts.
This has been fun. Naz, I've lost track of how many views we've had, but we've well surpassed over hundreds of thousands of views, 100,000 views. I think the last time I looked, we were like approaching 150,000, which is cool. Maybe we'll get picked up, like some good news. And if somebody out there knows someone with a contract that might be worth more than, reopening the place, then we might consider it.
We're willing to consider that.
We're willing to adapt.
Yeah.
We're willing to adapt.
I would consider us very adaptable people. Sagittarians are very good. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I have a little thing about a little astrology thing.
Ooh,
about the last time the planets were aligned the way they are right now.
Oh, and by the way, we enter retrograde tomorrow.
That is is nothing compared to what's going on right now.
So tomorrow we'll talk about it. So tomorrow
we will talk about it tomorrow.
We enter retrograde, which is real. That's real shit, Naz. So now talk about when the planets align and yours. Yeah. Okay.
But, this is
so now tomorrow.
It's craziness.
It's astrology and food Thursday with Frank Nazareth and Pam Sylvester.
It honestly. I mean, right now I'm talking about it.
Are you like your Miss Cleo coming out?
No. But I actually have goosebumps thinking about the last time that. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
And what's exciting? We've entered phase 1, and finally, our electrician has been able to come here.
I'm looking at people doing
work. So we have
work.
Our good friend Doug doing some work for us.
I need to talk to Doug. I love Doug.
He's awesome.
If you need an electrician, he is
kinetic electric. He is great. So welcome back to phase 1. We needed a couple things attended to. I told him, I said, nobody knows that we're working, but he did not work. Yeah. So it was a nice little vacation for him.
Yeah, but it was. He's a hard-working guy.
He's been very busy with his contract. So welcome back, Doug, and phase 1. So it allows us to do more. The only problem is as each day goes on, Jimmy actually walked in today and said, all right, what am I taking off the walls today?
In his typical fashion.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
Subscribe, like,
do all of that. Send us hearts.
Share. Tell your friends. Tell your family. We'll see you tomorrow. Naz.
That was awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.